What's up, guys? I hope you enjoyed the last video I shared about the collective consciousness. And in that video, I highlighted the fact that we are all one, and I also highlighted the fact that we are all unique and different. And both of these ideas are important, and they seem kind of contradictory, but they're both true. And that kind of leads me into my next video, which is about the balance of opposites. So we are all one, but we're all unique. We all have unique gifts to share with the world, and we are all one collective consciousness. Since we all come from the same source, it's really as if every single person in the world is just a different version of you or me. We're all different versions of each other. If more people thought like this and realized this, would we treat each other better? Could you imagine 7+ billion people working together, treating each other right, working on bettering humanity as a whole and the planet? Now, all humans will never think exactly the same, and it would really be boring if we did. But I do think that we can collectively perceive a higher frequency of reality. While we may not agree on everything, I think humans could agree on some basic morals, such as not harming others or stealing from others. Don't do harm to innocent people or children, or just basic morals that we should all have programmed in our DNA. At least you would think. And if you think about it, the better we treat others is the better we treat ourselves. The better everybody else is makes us better. If everybody was happy and taken care of, they would have more time to share with others and do for others, and I don't know, it would be contagious. A lot of people say that love is the highest frequency that you can achieve, but really love would be a balanced frequency, not too high, not too low. It would be medium, calm, oneness. So when I think of the universe, if it's vibrating, and it would be vibrating up and down, but somewhere in the middle there would be this balance that would be, where everything is probably our physical reality, where everything resonates to create this physical reality, would be somewhere in the balance, and in the very centered balance, that would be the calm, the oneness, where we are all one, where it would just be one straight line. At least that's what I think about it. And that makes me think of a Nikola Tesla quote. And he said, "Peace can only come as a natural consequence of universal enlightenment and merging of races." So world peace can come once everybody has enlightened themselves, found themselves, evolved themselves. And that makes sense, because once you've tapped into a higher frequency or balanced frequency, however you want to look at it, of love and compassion and doing for others and caring for others, why would you want to go around and hurt people after that? You would naturally want to take care of people. And the more people we have vibrating on this love frequency, this oneness, the more it helps others, and it would just grow and grow. And a lot of people talk about when we hit a critical mass, we're either there or very close, because there really are a lot of beautiful things happening, and it's easy to not see them with all the fear mongering going on. it's really important for us to open our minds and look within and learn about what resonates with our soul and discover our true passions as humans. We're not here to just work 40 hours and make a little bit of money and make a lot more money for the people who are already rich. We all need to find our own unique passions. It's really beneficial to realize that other people's perspectives are going to be different than ours and that their perspectives are true to them. People aren't all going to think the same, and they all have their reasons for thinking the way they do. But if we can all find this balance and oneness, then I think it would help people to, agree to disagree on certain things, but to work together on other things that are very important. And like I said, we can't force someone to think a certain way, but we can encourage people to think for themselves and to form their own original ideas. And that's really what it all boils down to. That's what I would say being enlightened or awakened or whatever label you want to stick on it. There's really no label. Zen, it's to think for yourself and form your own ideas instead of being persuaded what to think by the outside world. You find what resonates with your soul, form your own ideas, think your own thoughts. That's what it is. You've got to open your mind, open your heart. And there is one ultimate truth. Everybody wants to share the truth and tell the truth. And while it's true to a point, there's one ultimate truth, and that truth is love itself. Love lies within the balance of this opposite and dualistic reality. Love itself is the most powerful thing in the universe. It's the balance that creates oneness, and nothing is possible without balance. Just think about anything that's out of balance. It naturally tries to find its way back to a balanced state. Nothing can really exist without balance. You can't stand without balance. It's just nothing. You're if there was if are you if there was no balance, your my computer would fly over there against the wall, or just there has to be a balance for anything to exist. And then you think about fear would be the opposite of love. And if love and balance is what's real, fear would be the illusion. So all this fear mongering, it's only to actually distract you from the love that's within you. It's all a distraction. Our whole universe is basically a simulation or a hologram. And in this simulation, what's inside of us, our soul, is our connection with this source, this higher source of consciousness. The love, I call it love, there's different, you can call it love, consciousness. But there's a little piece of that inside of us in our heart and our soul. And that's what's real. And we're experiencing this technically not real holographic society. So while, all this stuff going on, this fear mongering, it's important in a physical sense, in a human sense. But looking at it from a spiritual perspective, it's all kind of necessary for us to evolve spiritually, because it's through the suffering and the pain that you learn your most valuable lessons. And it's like humanity as a whole has to go through this cycle to evolve spiritually. And if you can perceive things from that aspect, it helps you not feel the fear and helps you realize we're all one, and that will make you want to come together as humans.
How did you love? Nothing ever feels quite the same when you are what you dream, and you will never look at anything the same when you see what I see. How we forget ourselves, lose our way from the cradle to the grave. You can't replicate or duplicate, gotta find your own way. Yeah, no one gets out alive. Every day is do or die. The one thing you leave behind is how did you love? How did you love? It's not what you believe. Those prayers will make you bleed. But while you're on your knees, how did you love? How did you love? How did you love?
The reality that we exist in right now is out of balance. This reality is technically not real. It's literally an illusion. This reality is controlled by fear, which is an illusion. Look around, all you can see is fear-mongering. The same divide and conquer agenda has been used to control the masses for basically our entire history as humans. But now we're starting to see that it's all an illusion. It's an attempt to turn us against each other so that we don't look within and find this power of love. There's a great awakening happening as we speak, though, and we are witnessing the greatest rise in consciousness ever in the history of humanity. We have to keep up this movement of truth and love. We have to look within and love ourselves. If you can truly love yourself and be happy with the life you have, it helps you create a better, happier, calm, balanced reality. The most powerful thing you can do to change the world around you is to look within. So if you have this desire to help people, or you always have the heart and you really want to help the world, then you've got to look within and change yourself first. It's literally the only thing we can really suggest to people is to look within themselves. That's what's actually going to help this world. And it's happening. There's a lot of fear mongering, in the news right now, and mainstream media and all that bullshit. But that's to cover up all the good things that are actually happening. People are coming together right now. We're fighting and we're winning. And the powers that be are scared right now. They know we're taking our power back. There's nothing they can do to stop it. And achieving this balanced state does not mean to ignore the positive or the negative, but to let yourself experience these feelings, actually feel these feelings, and get to the root of them, find out why you're having these feelings, and find out what it is there to teach you. And we can look at them as necessary learning experiences. And we cannot focus on one single aspect of reality, because it would ignore the opposite aspects of reality, and then it would cease to exist. Without the negative, there would be no such thing as the positive. Without the darkness, there would be no such thing as the light. So instead of only focusing on the positive or the good or the light, we can focus on the balance of these opposites and embrace them and accept them as necessary for the other to exist. Once we can reach a higher perspective of all of these opposite energies, we start to realize how all things are necessary in order for us to learn and evolve spiritually. And that makes me think of good and bad, and I put those in quotes because it's really not real. Good and bad doesn't really exist. It's how you perceive it. Like I was talking about earlier, our perception is stronger than our reality. So you can perceive something as bad, like for example, in your earlier life you had a bad childhood, and at the time, according to your perspective in that time, it was bad. But maybe as an adult, it's made you stronger and wiser, and you've learned a lot from it. now, with a higher perspective, you could say that was something good. So it really just, that your perception, your perspective is what matters. We can have a high, even with all this bullshit going on in the world right now, we can view it as necessary to help people open their minds and unite with each other. Because people were so comfortable and apathetic to what was going on that they had to see some bad things for it to open their eyes. And that's what's happening right now. So we can look at it as something bad and be afraid and give more power to the illusion, or we can see it as a necessary learning experience and try to become, self-sufficient, independent from this system, because that's what we have to do. Is we have to no longer need this system to get by, and we never have. We've given our power to it, and we can take our power back. And it takes unity. That's why they divide us. We got to come together. And the first step to that is for everyone to look within and find themselves, become the best version of themselves. That's what it's going to take. We are all one. One love. That's what we are. We're all a physical embodiment of love energy. And we're in this weird 3D matrix that just stimulus everywhere, external stimulus to distract you, and division, and it's a shit show. But we're coming together. The matrix is crashing around us. Much love, everybody. Feel free to comment. Let me know your perspectives. I love to hear other people's perspectives. Whether it agrees with mine or not, I don't care. That's how you learn. If I'm wrong about something, tell me. Like it, share it, subscribe it, whatever. Let me know what you think.